Hello, welcome to Dad's Our Job podcast. This is a new intro. Let me start this again. And we're live.
And why did you turn into Sean Dyche? Try again.
I don't know. Let's put this back up. There we go.
Can't just retake it, mate. A minute into the podcast. There's no music.
Hello, welcome to Dad's Our Job podcast, the original football podcast for dads, by dads. I'm Adam. I'm joined by Rob and Callum. Guys, how are we getting on?
Well, I was right until that happens. I don't know what to do now. It's thrown me.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Hold on. One minute.
That was the worst launch in the history of launches. Shambles.
Right,
shambles, mate.
Just stop there. I'll start it again.
No.
What's going on? Hold on. Why is it the longest thing in the world?
Hello and welcome to Dad's Our Job podcast, the original podcast for dads, by dads. I'm Adam, this is Rob, and this is Callum. Guys, how you getting on? Better?
I've been better.
Mate, I tell you what, that's top drawer. Absolutely top drawer. So professional.
That's a game changer. That is going to put us to the top of Spotify. That is.
Yeah.
There you go. Everyone's just dropped off now already. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah. Just three dads just talking.
Yeah, interrupted me whilst I did the intro. Thanks. That's really, really good. Really good start, boys. What about the dad's pants? Oh, dad's pants. That's a good one. Hashtag that. Dad's pants.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. We'll do that for you. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Are we going to start? Are we going to restart again?
Get that off.
Why did it take so long to get on?
Get it off.
Hello, this is Adam, Rob, and Cal. Here we go.
So, chaps, how's your week's been? Week's been all right? You going to ask me a question, or are you just going to keep bantering?
No, I'm ready.
No?
Sorry. Yeah.
Cool. USA. Right, go.
So what's the question?
That was your week.
Oh, it's good week, mate. Lovely.
So
you've had a busy week, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a shepherd's hut in Sussex. That was good. And
there's a lot of sheep.
No, because I wasn't in Wales. And I did the
shepherd's hut.
I did the I did the Winnie the Pooh walk. It was very good.
Oh.
That's my story.
And what did you do Monday, Rob? What did you do Monday?
Monday? Oh, yeah.
Day off Monday.
Sorry, yeah, I had the dad's day off, didn't I? Went and played some pool for about 6 hours. And drank about 8 pints. What was going on, mate?
8 pints of Guinness?
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Oh, mate, nah, you can't get drunk on Guinness. Oh no.
There's a struggle.
I felt like I'd eaten about 4 3-course meals, not going to lie.
Adam, mate, you prepared that picture that you sent us. That should be popping up right now.
I'm not that cruel. I think only I've seen it, if I'm honest.
I don't know what Rob sends you after hours, mate.
No.
It wasn't what Rob sent, it was what Joe sent.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I'll put it in the WhatsApp group, just so you know. But yeah, so you played pool, you went to Chelmsford, didn't you?
Yeah,
went to Chelmsford. Tequila and limes?
Huh?
Did you have tequila and lime?
No. We just drank Guinness. I don't remember drinking no tequila.
That means they definitely drank tequila. If Rob don't remember, they definitely drank it.
No.
Oh, look, he's trying to be secret because Kelly's in the back.
I haven't got a problem with tequila. I just didn't drink any tequila.
Ooh.
That video says different.
Well, if there is a video, I don't remember.
I've just put the picture Joe sent me in the chat, so let us know when you've seen it, what you think. I did cry, I must admit. So Cal,
If we
how's
get
your
enough
week
followers, that will be on Instagram. Yeah, we just need to get to 100 million followers, and then we'll post that.
been? Yeah, we get to 500 subscribers, I'll post it.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, guys.
So that ain't gonna happen.
No, not tonight anyway.
Keep a secret.
Not pimping you out. Not pimping you out, mate.
Oh God.
All right, so shall we move on then?
So Cal, how's your week been? You've had a week off.
Yeah, it's
haven't
been
you?
alright actually. Do you know what, yeah, I'm trying to think of what the hell I've done. What did I do on Monday? Oh, we went up London. Actually, it was actually really nice. So we're on half term at the moment. So, about 18 months ago, I moved jobs. So it was quite nice actually. We went up and met some of my old mates, my old work colleagues that I haven't seen. I haven't seen since I've actually left the job. So we just went up and had some dinner and just sort of spoke about life and what they're up to and stuff. And yeah, it was actually really nice. I actually went and saw my old line manager, my old boss, who's recently retired from teaching and
Sean Dash.
education. What? No,
He's Sean Dash.
that was on Tuesday. I went and saw him. You know, he's looking for a job. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Ask him
he was
job
talking
like
to me
Tom
because he thinks he might be moving to the East End because results ain't being picked up in the east of London. So he said that he might be moving down south to South London, East London. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Leighton Orient have had a very terrible time at the minute. Very terrible time. Getting knocked out of the cup with Man City. Yeah, I feel for Leighton Orient.
Oh, that's not the club he mentioned to me. Funny enough, no, it wasn't. No. Yeah. But it was really nice. And then what did I do Tuesday? Just potted around, had my hair cut. You know, I know it's going to sound really bad actually, but so obviously Bogo's nursery. So we've been still putting him in nursery. So we had him off Monday with us, but we've been putting him in nursery. So like, I'm not going to lie to you, just so that we can have a bit of a rest. I know that sounds awful to say, but
It
work's
does.
so intense.
It does.
It is, isn't it bad, isn't it? It's bad. But, I mean, the thing is, whoever justifies it, or we justify it going up, well, we're paying for it anyway. But I don't know, sometimes it's just nice to have a few hours just to just breathe. Do you know what I mean? Like, because work's so intense as well. And then obviously you get into the routine of getting Bo up, get him to nursery, go to work, pick Bo up from nursery, come straight home, get into bed. We have a cup of tea and go to bed ourselves. It's quite nice to just put him in nursery and come home and just watch something. Do you know what I mean? Like just watch anything on TV.
Yeah.
So to be fair, we've done that. Even though we've done bits in between, like try to tidy the house up and I've like put shelves up and well, we was meant to do the garage today, but we're going to do that tomorrow. Tied up the garage. Just taking life a little bit slower. Really,
Maybe
that's what I've done this week.
Studio back, right?
Yeah. The plan was to do it tonight, but obviously with things that have occurred, we haven't thingy. But no, it will be up and running from next week. We just need to get some cameras in there or whatever you want to do. But it should be ready next week. But it's been quite a nice slow week. It's actually I actually feel like I've done something for myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's nice. It's been a long time since I feel I've done anything like that. Yeah. What about yourselves?
It was quite a good weekend really last weekend. I mean, I went West Ham. The trains were knackered. Thanks Train Line and London Overground and Underground and Wandering Free. So I went to go to an event in the morning called the West Ham Way event where Martin Allen was there and Colton Cole. So I went to go there. Obviously the trains were a nightmare. Managed to get to Stratford for about 12, so I thought I could probably make the last hour of this event. Got to Stratford, I thought, right, okay, the event was held in Hackney Wick, so went to get on the train to go one stop on the Mildmay line, which is a new named line of the Overground, and sitting there for 10 minutes, like that, nothing's happening. Sitting there 15 minutes, nothing's happening. 20 minutes. I'm sorry, we're going to have to suspend this train. There is a swan on the track. So the train got suspended because of a swan. Right. So, I was like, right, okay, I've wasted 20 minutes. So I jumped off the train, ran to Hackney Wick, trying to find this venue, and I caught the last 10 minutes of the event. So it took me all that time to get there. But yeah, I got there, I sung the Colton Cole song, and then that was it. And then I met up with some old school friend of mine, Mark. Hadn't seen for years since we used to play football together at Romford Royals. We had a reunion about just before COVID. And we had a few beers there and met up, and then I met my dad after the game, and then that was that. And went back to Upminster. Kerry's mum and dad had Connie. Kerry was out, so we had a couple of drinks in Upminster. Went back and then left Connie with her mum and dad, and we had a free Sunday, so we walked Buddy. Went back. I was due to go to the Henny Swan in Sudbury. We were driving back. I was pretty much hungover. I'm not going to lie. So we're looking at each other, driving back, going, should we just get a Chinese and stay indoors and go to bed early? And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what we need. So we had a Chinese at 6 and went to bed at 8, and that was it. That was our weekend. But Connie had a whale of a time with her nanny and granddad. So, that was the week. And obviously, the week just goes on as normal, doesn't it? Nursery and childcare and stuff during the day. So, yeah, it's all good. All good.
Nice.
So everyone's winning this week.
Yeah, it was quite a good weekend. Yeah,
I've got one for you. I can't remember if I told you this last week, but I'm going to tell it again anyway. But I've absolutely stitched myself up here. So Lily, who's Heather's cousin, she's had a dog, or she's got a dog, right? And she's just adopted another dog. I think it's from Romania, or they do like these adoption things from abroad where you can sort of bring dogs over that have like homeless dogs or like stray dogs and that. Anyway, she's brought this second dog over. Right? Have I told you this story?
No, go on.
The lads. Have I told you this story or
No,
not?
go on. No, go
okay.
on,
So
go on.
basically, they brought this dog over, right? So as she's telling us and showing this dog, I've gone, oh, look, Bo, like Lily's got you a dog. It's your dog. Like, but it has to stay at Lily's. Nah. Oh no. So basically from that, yeah, Bo now thinks he's getting a dog, or Lily's got the dog that's going to come to our house now to live with us, and it's called Rusty. Yeah. So every day now since then, which was like last week, I can't remember, maybe it must have been Friday. Or no, it must have been longer. How long she had a dog? Whatever. Yeah. He thinks he's getting a dog Rusty now every day. Daddy, where's Rusty, our dog? So me and Heather are now thinking and talking about when and if we can get a dog for Bo, because he thinks he's got a dog coming that's called Rusty. And then when Lily puts a dog up on the screen, like FaceTime, oh, look, Daddy, it's our dog Rusty. It's our dog Rusty. Oh no. You think, oh, you idiot, why have you said that? So now he thinks he's getting a dog, yeah. So I've stitched myself up massively. And Heather, yeah.
Cal, we heard this last week.
Did you?
Yeah. I just wanted you to say it all over again.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's bad because it's still going on, mate. It's still going on. He ain't forgot.
We've heard this one.
Well, anyone who did tune in last week, you're welcome. All right.
So, as you were saying it, I was just smiling myself. Thought I'm going to wind him up here.
Adam, did I say it better last week or this week?
I think you said it better this week, because now we can understand that the bluey link of the quiz last week was Rusty was the dog, wasn't it?
Correct. Well done. It's true. Well done.
Well, that's cricket. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, going on to
TV.
So I was going to say he was quite emotional, wasn't he? In terms of almost the thought of getting a dog and stitching yourself up. But obviously, we're talking about
mate,
that.
You are a professional, Adam. That, mate, the link that you're about to make, your levels, you've done well. Go on.
Yeah. So
yeah, good.
The topic this week is about crying at our kids. So showing your
crying at our
side.
kids? That's not what the topic is it?
Crying at our kids. Actually, I think it was LOL at our kids, wasn't it? See, I was doing so well, and you hyped me up.
You've let yourself down, mate.
Yeah. So have you got any? Obviously, last week we touched on stories where your kids, you LOL'd at your kids. My dad found your story about Danny Rob quite funny, especially the bogey comment, coming out like a bogey. No, that tickled him over the weekend. So have you got any other stories, but this time on the other side of the scale in terms of what made you quite emotional over your kids?
Emotional? I remember when Danny used to play football, and he didn't quite take to football like the other kids did, and it took him a bit of a while. And we kind of later realised it wasn't going to be a sport. But I remember I went to one of his games and I took him, and he scored 2 goals in one game, and they were like the first goals he ever scored. And so that was quite an emotional moment, because I was like damn, like Danny did it. Like he kind of got the idea together. He dribbled with the ball, took it around the goalkeeper and scored a goal. And I was like, that was actually quite a good goal. So that was quite an emotional one, for the right reasons, I guess. But yeah, so that's the first one that kind of comes to mind for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, for me, the things that make me emotional is like seeing Bo with like Dad, like with Pops and Nan. Like, so like if you see when he plays with like Nan or he's playing with with Dad or whatever, and then it sort of just makes me emotional where you sort of see them playing with Bo, and it makes me think about like how they used to spend time with like myself and Rob, but also it's that like I don't know, it's going to sound, I don't know, I feel so, obviously Danny got to meet Granddad Rob. Yeah. No, I thought Danny met Granddad.
No.
Was he not here?
Granddad,
I swear.
I think, but he didn't meet him.
Did he not?
No.
So basically, I thought Danny. I swear Danny met Granddad.
Yeah.
Have you not got a picture of him with Granddad?
Oh. Didn't meet him.
So basically, obviously, where obviously Dad's been ill. Well, Mum's been ill as well, I suppose, but Dad's been ill, and like just like, and obviously the Bo never got to meet Granddad, basically, right? And it's almost like 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 him being with Mum and Dad, like just makes me emotional sometimes when you see him like interact and like he's playing. And he's like always so like when they turn up at the house and he's so happy to see him, or they drive past and you sort of take him out and he's happy to see him, and it just makes me sad, like not sad, but like makes me emotional in the sense of like I'm so glad that he gets to, because we had such a good relationship with Nan and Granddad, didn't we, growing up?
Yeah.
And obviously I just want Bo to have that as well. And he does have that. Do you know what I mean? It just makes me emotional when I see them together sometimes. Like even if like just doing little things where they're like drawing on the easel with Mum, or when Dad sits on the floor and plays football with him. It just that's the sort of stuff that makes me sort of go like, it's more lucky, I suppose. Like, you know what I mean? Like a nice emotional, I suppose. What about you, Adam?
I'll say other than the obvious of Connie being born and her falling down and scraping her knee and stuff like that, it does make you a bit emotional, but in different ways. There's a happy emotional, like being like crying, and then there's the sad crying. I think that's the hardest is like the realization of something's never going to happen. Like when my granddad passed away a year after I got married in 2017, I think February 2017. And funny enough, that's why I got this shirt on, because this is his shirt. This is his West Ham shirt. He wore every time I went to West Ham. And when Connie was a bit older, she was like starting to talk and stuff. Went round my dad's, and my granddad is cremated, and he's in a box in my nan's bedroom with a photo beside it. And Connie's gone into my nan's room, and Nan's there just sorting her out and bits and bobs. And Connie went up to the box, tapped it, and said, "Granddad." And I was like, how do you know that's granddad? And I think because my granddad's picture was there, and obviously I always say granddad, so she's just latched onto that. But that moment there, I thought, you're never going to see him. You know, that person that was so important in my life, you're never going to see him, and they're never going to cross paths. And like, I'd give up everything. So they had 15 minutes together. But again, it's never going to happen, is it? But it's one of those things that kind of really, your kids not knowing how emotional that makes you, but it's a moment sort of thing. So yeah, it's just say the moment of realization. So the things
I
they
get
do
that.
just.
I get it 100%. No, I was going to say I agree with you 100%. I get it. I suppose it's a little bit what I was trying to say. You know, like our granddad was such a legend, such a good bloke, and as you just said, like, you know, unfortunately, none of our children. I thought Danny met him, but none of our children.
They fed you all the ice cream in the caravans, of course. It was the legends, isn't they?
Yeah, but it's so true. You know, obviously, you know, Bo's in the sort of same situation as you had, and what you say about, you know, your granddad, his granddad, you know, Heather's dad passed away, you know, and we do the same. We've got a picture of, like, we've got like a wall, our wall outside, it's got everyone who's passed away on it. And like, you know, we always like show Bohem and say, oh, this is granddad, Bob. You know, that's what we call Heather's pops. And then obviously you've got, like, you know, my nan and granddad on there. You've got her nan and her nan and granddad on there, and you know, we've got like, Leader up there with Skylab and stuff. And as you say, it's like, you know, by sounds of it, your granddad is the same as our granddad. He was such a good bloke, just an absolute gentleman, you know, and we were lucky to spend so much time with him. And then, as you just said, like, you know, Connie and, you know, Bo won't get that blessing. You know, Danny hasn't, you know, didn't get that blessing with, you know, granddad and that, and the same as, you know, Leia. And you sort of think, you know, there's so much they taught you, and you get from them, you know, and you just, as you just said, I just wish that they got to see that as well. Do you know what I mean? I think that's
absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard. It's so bloody hard, isn't it? But
Well,
this is why I said, like, the blessing.
One of the things going on to that, then, do you think your kids show an element of them, like of your grandparents? Like, because for me, everyone's like, Connie's such a happy kid, and she runs around. And Kerry always says, Kerry knew my granddad, and even her mum and dad knew my granddad and that. And like, so my granddad was quite a loving person. Like, everyone wanted to talk to him. Everyone had a lot of respect for him. You know, not like he was a godfather or something. He was just a nice bloke, and he could have a chat with. But there's an element of Connie where, like, that's my granddad's inner child in her. You know. And even like when she smiles and when she sparkles a little bit in her eye, I can see my granddad in her. Like, it's really weird. It's really, really weird. Almost I need to get a ghost poltergeist in or something to kind of get it out. But yeah, it's little things like that. Do you think that your kids show elements of that in your with your grandparents?
I hope so. I mean, well, I think, you know, if any of our kids turned out like our nan and granddad, they've done pretty well, in my opinion. And, you know, our nan and granddad, as well as our parents, I think, you know, they would have done pretty well. I like to think, because I think they've done a good job. You know, I think they've all done a good job. You know, with granddad to dad, and, you know, mum's parents down to her, and then hopefully them down to us. And I just think, you know, I like to think that their character lives on through what they taught them to them, what we've been taught to what we're going to teach our kids, I suppose. But I mean, Bo always is said to look like Heather's dad. I mean, he does favour Heather's side of the family. So if you look at sort of Heather's dad, you know, and uncles and stuff like that, he does sort of look and look more like Heather than our side of the family at the moment. And I think, you know, Lily always jokes that you know, Rob sent Bo to us, obviously with everything that happened when trying to have a baby, have Bo, sorry. And Lily's like a white witch. she's one of these women that when she said something, it happens, or, you know, she's. Yeah, so Yeah, I'd like to think so, 100%. I think it's more through what they've taught us and what we teach them, and then they sort of live on. That's the way I look at things. This is why, you take on what's taught to you and you pass it on. That's how they, like I say, I think that's how people live on, by what you pass on and how you've been brought up, and then you model it and they live on. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Well, I was going to say, going on from emotional times, let's talk about the football. I mean,
I thought we were going to do films.
We'll do that. We'll do that in a bit. We'll touch that on a bit. Let's talk about the football, and then we'll go back on the films. Yeah. So obviously, Arsenal v Leicester. I mean, it was a good result for your boys. Not so much a good result for our boys, West Ham v Brentford. So run us through the superstar number 9 that you've now got in Mikel Merino.
Oh, it's such a good question, isn't it? I mean, can I start with this, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about, obviously, last episode we were talking about what's he going to do, and we and I suppose we were right in the sense of the lineup that he started with. We all assumed that was what it was going to be, and I can't remember if it was. I think it was Rob who said about Merino going up top and that he could potentially do a job. And I think when he obviously scored the first goal, I text you guys and said, "Well, there you go. There's the answer to the question." And now the next question is, does he start with him up top? Yeah. Or now, have we found a number 9 that we're gonna, push forward to stay at number 9, because both finishes were exceptional. I mean, if your striker finished both them goals, you'd be buzzing, wouldn't you? And if that was Ollie Watkins or Haaland, you'd go, what a fan, that's what a great striker, wouldn't you? And for someone who doesn't normally play there, who's never played there, who actually said in an interview he's never played there up top, and he said that he doubts that he's going to go play there. He's not going to play there again. To be fair, I can't see it. I think with how composed he was and how he took the goals, I'm surprised, unless he's just trying to keep it under wraps, that he hasn't been training there or hasn't done anything there, and he's just thrown it in just to sort of rock people, or keep people guessing. I can't see him not starting him, or at least giving him another go. And no disrespect to him, having West Ham on the weekend, it's probably the perfect team to go start up top then. Not being horrible, you're not on the greatest run. You are shipping goals. You have shipped goals against Arsenal in the last 2 games. I must admit, I hope that continues on the weekend. But surely for Merino, you're going to go, right, listen, we gave you a little run out. You went and nicked 2 goals. Now go and start up top and see if you can go and do the job. If he could do that against you and go nick another goal or set up a couple of goals, then you're really thinking, well, actually, maybe this is the bloke for the rest of the season. With a Sterling, with a Trossard coming in last 15, 20 minutes, or however it is. In my opinion, he looks so composed up top. I think, West Ham being next is a perfect team to try it against.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. One of the things that I said last week was that he's obviously not Havertz, but he can press and he can hold up the ball like Havertz. I also think that the goals that he scored, he didn't have time to think. And I think that will probably suit Merino, because you don't want him to think too much about what he's doing. You just want him to act on instinct. If the ball's there, shoot. That's kind of what you want from him in an attacking sense. And then in the other press play that we do, you're looking for someone to hold up the ball, or who can press the ball and make those challenges, which he has shown himself to be very good at, winning the ball high up the pitch. So I think having Merino coming late, or not having time to compose himself, but rather just shooting on instinct, I think will suit him, because otherwise you don't want him to get caught up in thinking like a number 9. You just want him to be able to have a shot when we need him to have a shot. In response to what you're saying about him starting Merino, I think he will start games with Merino up front. But I don't think he will start every game with Merino up front. I think more than likely he will start with a Sterling Ranieri Trossard combination, and Merino will be like a 20-minute impact player. That's what I can see happening. I do think he will start with Merino up front in games. I just don't think it will be as many as we might think or might personally want. but then at the same time, he might still need to play in midfield this year. So we have that to kind of consider as well. I do think that Arsenal have got a good chance against West Ham this weekend because West Ham have got so many high-profile injuries to their squad, and you've just had Paquetá come out this week. Fulkrug still isn't starting. There's a couple of others that I can't remember now, but I think there's like 4 or 5 that are definitely not in the game. So I do think. Oh yeah, that's it, Kufal. So I do think there's opportunities for Arsenal to go at West Ham's defence, and I do think Arsenal will score goals. They're at home. They're going to be hard to score against. If West Ham do score goals, I think it will come through Bowen. And Bowen, I think, scored against us in the last game, or had a role to play in one of the goals that West Ham scored in the last game. Or was he injured then?
Who was that again? Sorry,
Bowen.
Bowen. No, he played last game.
Yeah,
Played against Chelsea and scored as well.
No? Did he score or assist?
What, against Brentford?
No, against Arsenal. Either way,
I can't remember now. I can't remember.
Either way, I think that Arsenal will do enough on the left side to try and press him and keep him out of the game. And if Arsenal do that, I think Arsenal will win the game comfortably. If they don't do that, I think Arsenal will concede a goal and it'll be 2-1. If not, I think it could be 2 or 3-0, regardless of who is up front, because I think Arsenal will create chances against a leggy West Ham midfield. So that's what I'm predicting. I think a 3-0 win or a 2-1 if Bowen's in the game.
I think us being at home is going to be a big deal as well. I think us being at home, I think Liverpool dropping points again on Wednesday, Liverpool having Man City on Sunday. I think the ground could be buoyant as long as I think we nick a goal early. I think we'll go on and win, and I do think Liverpool will lose against Man City on the weekend, and I think it will really bring everyone back together, and I think it will make the last end of the season, the last few games of the season.
Because if they do, Cal, if Man City beat Liverpool this weekend and Arsenal beat West Ham, we'll be 5 points behind Man City with a game in hand. And if we do win that game in hand in game week 29, I think it is when Liverpool blank, we could be 2 points behind Liverpool as we build up to our match with them at Anfield. And I do think that Liverpool are starting to look a little bit tired, actually.
Leggy.
They struggled against Wolves. They barely beat...
Aston Villa.
No. They barely drew with Aston Villa. And they could have lost it in the final moments of the game. And, Arsenal bottled it 2 years ago. I don't think they bottled it last year. But Liverpool have a history of bottling the Premier League. And so I think it will be... an interesting run-in if they fail to beat Man City, because then they know that we've got that game in hand hanging over them for at least 3 game weeks before we play that game week when they blank. And they know that they can't drop points in the next 3 game weeks before that blank. So I think that's quite a lot of pressure that's slowly building up on a Liverpool midfield that I think is flattering to deceive at the moment. So
they've still got big claim. They've still got big games, as you say. They've got Man City. I think they've got Newcastle as well within that running.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, and they got Man. I mean, I know we still got big clubs. I think we got Man U and Chelsea and that. But I think they've still got to play both their teams. They've got to play us.
They're all hitting low form. Chelsea are out of form. Man United are out of form. You'd think Arsenal should be beating those. So regardless of whether they've got a striker or not, and Ranieri is just gorgeous at the moment, isn't he? What about you, Adam?
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask quickly. What's your thoughts on? Sorry, just quickly. I was just going to ask. What's your thoughts on people comparing him to potentially the next Messi, or as good as, or could be as good? Sorry, well, anyone could be as good. With,
Mikel Marino.
No, they're talking about Haaland, mate. That's what they're saying. Next to Haaland. Yeri.
I'm not interested in any of that. Just let the boy play football. I couldn't care less.
Yeah. I think it's probably the right thing. It's probably the right thing.
It's enjoyable watching him.
Yeah,
I'd say that.
Yeah, you feel like you get more enjoyment out of the academy than you do the players that you sign, right? Like, it's because they're one of your own.
Tabs reckons he's better than Messi, by the way. And Tabs, denial is not a river in Egypt, my friend. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, there he is. All right, Tabs. So follow Tabs' podcast. What's it again, Rob?
The Grove podcast, the Grove AFC.
Podcast.
He'll correct us in the chat anyway.
Yeah, he will do. Type it in, Tabs, and we'll keep it up for a little bit. Yeah, so obviously it was good catching up with Tabs earlier. There you go, the Grove AFC. Follow that. I'm a West Ham fan, and I actually quite enjoy an Arsenal podcast. So
that's because you're a secret Arsenal fan, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
the same as every other club in every other country. Who's it in Belgium and
Tabs will like
Italy?
Tabs will like this. That what Tabs in the comments? Who did we beat in that final?
Dad went to that final. Do you know that? That was in the FA Cup final, no?
FA Cup final, Trevor Brook and Header.
Yeah,
the last time West Ham won a domestic trophy. And the Tabs will most likely tell me how many cups Arsenal have won since then.
At least 12, I think, in the FA Cups, I think it is.
What, since 1980?
Yeah, I think so. It's 12. I mean, they've won 10 just alive, and that was 1986. So I think it's probably 12. But yeah.
It's outrageous. You don't know how sport you are.
Well, I did try to tell you. That's why I don't really care about your Mickey Mouse Conference League Cup.
Do you know what we need to do? We need to get our old men on here, because I was in the pub with Dad last night to watch the Liverpool game, and the bloke Richard, who goes to the Free Pigeons, Rob, the Arsenal fan with the glasses. Yeah. So we were waffling with him, and I was like, we were sitting with him, and Dad was like talking, Dad was like proper on talking, and he was talking about we were talking about like travelling away, because obviously Dad like went to travel with Arsenal wherever he went to watch him, and he was talking about it last night. He was talking about going to the Fairs Cup, like the second leg at Arsenal, and who scored, and he was talking about when he obviously, so Adam, our old man, used to live 2 doors from Highbury, literally. So the stadium, there was a house, then his house. So he was saying about like he used to crawl through the stands to get into the stadium, and like he used to sell programs and stuff. But Dad was proper on it. Like he was proper like talking about everything that he used to do. But I was saying, like, he was saying to like Richard, some of the stuff that they used to get up with. What?
I'm just laughing at Tabs. He said it was a mistimed header. It was a fortunate goal. If it
come off his shoulder, didn't it?
Saved it.
Yeah. But yeah, like some of the stories that Dad was coming out with was just like fantastic. It'd be so good to get them on. I'm sure that your dad's, I mean, not cup finals, but I'm sure your dad's got a few stories he could talk about West Ham in the 80s. No, Adam?
Yeah. I've sent the link in. If he wants to jump on, he's more than welcome to. So if he jumps on, he jumps on. If he doesn't, he doesn't. No, I mean, going back to West Ham Brentford, I mean, obviously we lost 1-0 as predicted last week. Brentford would come out the traps and score within the first 5 minutes, which they did. But from that, it was a pretty dead game, very dead game. But something that's been quite hard, I've done a video on it yesterday. The London Stadium feels very cleansed, very dry of atmosphere. Still feels like, although we've got this new manager coming in, we're playing the academy now a bit more. We're playing a better brand of football despite the results. It still doesn't feel right over there. I think people are starting to lose their patience with a world-class stadium for a world-class venue and for a world-class football team and stuff like that. From what Karen Brady released yesterday, I think you can't keep try and sell this project to the West Ham fans anymore. So I think we've had 8 or 9 years of it, and I think we're sick. It comes across that the fan base is very impatient with what we've been given now. Things need to change, and I think that might escalate over the next couple of years. So let's see what happens with that.
But don't you think that's a bit harsh?
Performance-wise,
don't you think that's a bit harsh? You've won your first trophy in 54 years, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can understand. I can understand being frustrated because you'd like to think after winning the European Cup that you would have pushed on. I get it. Like, it's it's the same as like when Arteta won the FA Cup. You sort of think, and I know we have pushed on. All right, we might not have pushed on in the sense of actual trophies, but we have pushed on. I can understand that. You think you'd win that European Cup and things would change and you'd be on the momentum and maybe even challenging for Champions League. I could imagine where West Ham and where your mind would have been winning that cup. I get it, but again, you have, since you've been to the London Stadium, you have won a big cup, or you've won a cup,
and I know there's an argument behind that.
Do you not think it's a little bit harsh?
No, I don't.
You don't, no? Even though you've won the cup in your first lifetime, in your actual lifetime, you don't think it's
listen, that cup, right? So we went to the London Stadium in the hope of getting European football to the highest level. No, listen, so that competition that we won came after we moved to that stadium. So we went there for the intentions of going to a better European competition and winning a better European Cup. That Conference League, as fantastic as it was and as memorable as it was, jubilant, getting European football for the third time on the spin, it wasn't what we went there for. We didn't go to the London Stadium to win the Conference League Cup that didn't exist.
You sound like Arsenal fans 10 years ago when we were winning FA Cup. Oh, mate, it's bad.
Well, there you go.
Bloody be happy, mate.
You didn't. No, we can't. The thing is, right? So you're. I've bit here. I can see you smiling.
You've gone, mate.
I think it's hilarious. Well, and a little bit embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing. The thing is that you own your stadium. In comparison between West Ham and Arsenal, you gave up Highbury, your spiritual ground for the Emirates.
And had 15 years, 19 years of nothing near
nothing. Enough. You've had a few FA Cups.
4 FA Cups, yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's more than West Ham's entire history. In one stadium, right? So
but this is what I'm trying to say. But this is what the point I'm trying to make.
It is harsh on our behalf. We don't own that stadium. We're in a stadium. I went on a stadium tour, right? We're in that stadium where there's posters on the wall of Billy Bonds, Bobby Moore, Trevor Brooking heading that goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup, held up with blue tack. Held up with blue tack because we can't bang a nail in that wall. We can't do nothing.
Well, a lot of your fans bang their bits against the walls, so.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. You don't need a hammer when you've got hammers. But yeah, the thing is, there's an impatience there. We need ownership of that stadium, or at least full control, in the same guise as what Man City's got with their stadium, which is council owned by the City of Manchester, and they've got a 999-year lease, and they're allowed to spend £60 million on extending it, creating fan zones, doing this, changing all the alterations. West Ham can't. But on the other side,
then you haven't got the stress of all the upkeep either. So you're making what you make is what you keep. You ain't got to put it back in, have you?
This is the current board's argument. They're like, well, why do we want to spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds converting a stadium that we already play in? We already get ticket revenue from. We get a portion of the commercial and food and drink rights, and we only pay £2.5 million a year rent. Why would we spend all that money? So I see the counter argument to it. But if we want to be a serious club and we want to have an atmosphere over that stadium, I mean, there's some arguments on there saying, oh, we didn't have all this uproar when we beat Seville in the Europa League, or we didn't have this uproar when we beat Arsenal and Chelsea in the Cup. Yeah, that's one that atmosphere would exist in any stadium in the world, any stadium. But the atmosphere that we lack is the day-to-day going to the game, 3 p.m. kickoff, not being rinsed by the surrounding areas of Westfield, to go in there and enjoy a game and have a family club environment with passion. Results irrelevant. I went there at the weekend and we let a goal in and everyone went, so you watching EastEnders tonight? They don't give a shit. And that's bad. That's sad. And basically, our fan base has been cleansed over that stadium.
Yeah, but Arsenal went through that. You remember when Arsenal first went to the Emirates, Rob, and it was all corporate, wasn't it? Literally, fans were struggling to get tickets, and it was all corporate. It was all going off to businesses, and this is what we were told. And we lost. And Go on, Rob.
the membership brands, isn't it?
Yeah, and actual fans couldn't get tickets. Do you know what I mean? We couldn't get. No one could get tickets, and then
I also think how there was a disconnect, wasn't there, over that time? So as the Emirates there was, as the move went on, Arsenal fans had a massive disconnect with their club because there was frustration that Arsenal were paying off the stadium, which meant they couldn't invest in the squad. And sometimes Wenger would ask what his budget was, and they'd be like, "What can you do with $1 million?" And we ended up with Yaya Sanogo, while everyone else was buying the Drogbas of the world. Like it was a rough time, and there was a massive disconnect, and that's why we have to be. That's why I think that Arteta deserves more credit and more patience.
That's why Arsene Wenger is a god, because the teams that he kept getting in top 4 and the teams that we had, for him to do that is incredible. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but absolutely incredible.
No, you can swear, mate.
But he also did it.
Yeah, that's right.
Cal, he also did it to the detriment of his own legacy as well. Like,
yeah,
it was
he did.
Selfless. It was very selfless what Wenger did, because he wore it and he protected the players, he protected the club, he protected the infrastructure of the club, and he did it at the expense of his own legacy. Because actually, if anyone deserved to lift more trophies as a manager, it was Wenger. And he won 2 Premier 3.
2. 3.
George Graham didn't win a Premier League, did he?
Yeah. No. Yes, he did.
I think
1998.
No, that was
Premier League.
Sorry. Yeah, he did with he won the double, you donuts.
I think it was 98. I think he won it.
Yeah, they won
a double.
Yeah, that was League One trophy.
Yeah, it wasn't the. Sorry. Ignore me.
Division 1.
But also, you got to remember, Arsene Wenger, Real Madrid wanted him. There was all these talks of big clubs wanting him, and he stayed at Arsenal. I mean, as you said, Rob said now and yet, he almost ruined his own legacy, because he could have gone off anywhere, I think, with his philosophy, and I think he was a groundbreaker for his time. Well, he definitely was a groundbreaker for his time. He could have gone off to Spain and won trophies with Real Madrid. He could have gone to.
He was fighting with Mourinho over Arsenal tried to sign Cech. They didn't sign Cech because, and this is the first time round, by the way. Arsenal tried to sign Cech originally, but he signed for Chelsea because they could afford a better wage packet for him. Arsenal couldn't do that. So there was lots of players that Arsenal were connected with. That in the end, that in the end went to the likes of Man United and Chelsea because Arsenal couldn't afford.
Wayne Bridge was one of them, wasn't he?
Who?
Wayne Bridge was one of them, wasn't he? At one point.
Probably. There was lots of players that ended up at like I said, at Man United, because even Arsenal were about to sign Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And then
Hazard.
I reckon Tabs is probably. What's Tab said? Hazard was the other one. That's right. There was all these players that Arsenal were going to sign, and in the end we couldn't sign them because we couldn't afford the wage packet. And I think that says a lot for what Wenger achieved and what he did to his own reputation at the expense of it. But then at the same time, to bring that back to West Ham, you have to think that West Ham have been there for quite a while now as well, and they're not having to pay anything off, whereas Arsenal were paying off a substantial amount of money. And that was affecting their transfer business. Whereas, in contrast, that's not what's happening at West Ham. A lot of West Ham is incredibly bad investment, if I'm being completely honest. Some of the players you've bought would be absolute car wrecks. And, that's a really bad example. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That was.
I didn't even mean that. Trust me, Antonio would be laughing at that. Don't worry, it's fine. It was an innocent. Just such poor signing. I'm really sorry about that. I wouldn't have done that on purpose. But really, sorry, that was so good. So good. It's good job he's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, he looked well in that picture. That picture he posted, he looks proper good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, fair play to him. I didn't think we'd ever see him again. No. From what I was hearing, for him to come back.
He'll be back. I reckon he'll be back in like a couple of months.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
He is. He's going to get a lovely ovation, isn't
he? Yeah. It will be good.
What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
I think we're going to lose 3-0.
You reckon it's that bad?
I reckon it's that bad. That's just my head saying that. If I'm completely honest, I'm just saying that to kind of avoid a backlash. But okay, if you want me to give what my gut feeling is, I think a draw. I think a draw is probably doable for us because you've got no potential striker. You played Leicester at the weekend, who are pretty much already relegated side under Ruud van Nistelrooy. They've got a pretty poor defence. I think we've probably got a better defence. I think we're more structured. We've got a better tactical manager in Graham Potter, although results, again, like I said this to Tabs earlier, I think we've got probably a better defence now. But he admittedly will probably most likely play three at the back, and you kind of thrive against teams that play three at the back. But I could see us kind of being a bit more solid this weekend in terms of having Kilman, Tadibo and Mavropanos, and then have Emerson and Wan-Bissaka as your wing backs. I mean, then that could create a five if need be. And then you've got Alvarez and Souček sitting in front of them, so that could add a bit of defensive protection for us, and then hit you on a break because you play quite high up and you do a high press, and that could potentially happen. You've got a number of injuries at the back as well, haven't you? Like Tomiyasu's out now, isn't he? He's had an operation there, isn't he?
Tomiyasu hasn't featured all season, so I wouldn't even include Tomiyasu in that discussion. As far as everything up to the top, Arsenal are pretty much okay. There isn't really any standout injuries. Even Ben White might be on the bench this weekend. So I think it's really the front line that kills us at the moment. But even saying that, is Nwaneri, I think, hit the post last week, maybe twice. Hit the post and the crossbar. And then he assisted before he went off. I don't think he finished the game. So, I think there are goals in that team, regardless of whether, people were saying that Havertz was crap and we shouldn't be playing him. So, if anything, with Marino up front, the attitude should be we're better off anyway. If you're going to be a cynic. I'm not a cynic because I miss Havertz, but the reality is, if most people think Havertz is shit anyway, so what difference should it make this weekend? So I still
Can I
think
throw something out there?
Yeah.
If Marino goes and scores again this weekend, what's the talk? Honestly, what is the talk? If he goes and scores again,
my fantasy football team will be interested at £6 million. So, especially because I'm looking to replace Palmer after he plays Leicester and Southampton.
Yeah, there is that. But a quick question for you then, before you go, Rob. Who's got the better front three this weekend then? West Ham or Arsenal? So West Ham's front three could...
I think that's probably a little bit loaded because Sterling's barely played, and you can talk about experience, but Sterling's barely played. I think Nwaneri is red hot. So I think that at the moment, any team in the Premier League would love to have a Nwaneri off the bench or starting. But he's 17. So I think it's probably a little bit unfair to put those two into a discussion. Trossard is a starter. And I think that Trossard is as good as anything you've got, barring Bowen. And then Marino.
You don't think he's better than Bowen?
No, I don't. I don't think he's better than Bowen. No, I don't think Trossard is better than Bowen. But then the other one is.
Look at the other one. Cow, he's that.
And then the other one is Marino. Again, I think Marino is an unfair one as well because he's just filling in, isn't he? He's an 8. No, he's an 8 that's really good at pressing and can make high upfield tackles, which makes him perfect for the Havertz role, other than maybe his striking, which looked pretty good at the weekend. So I think there's too many factors there that make it a bit of an unfair comparison. Who are, other than maybe Trossard, who I think gets into West Ham's team. So you've got Bowen.
You'd put it past me if we signed him in the summer.
No, I know. You've got Ferguson and Bowen. Ferguson's barely played, so I don't think he matters too much. Like, he could score, but then so could have any of Arsenal's players. I think Bowen's...
But also he matches Gabriel and Saliba. I'd like to think Saliba and Gabriel would fancy going up against him.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Ferguson, I think they would fancy going up against him.
I think they.
I don't think they've ever gone up against him, have they?
No, but I'm saying I think they would like that battle.
Yeah.
They like a battle, don't they? I
Yeah, I
think
think
they struggle more with them in and out. You know, that Isak, even though he's a big bloke, his movement and he's. Huh?
Sorry, no, go on. Sorry,
I said about Isak, they don't like that sort of player that sort of does them runs, sort of drags them in and turns round. Where the strikers that sort of stand there want it. They like that they like that competition. You know, the ones that want to run in behind and run down the sides. That's where I think Gabriel and I think all defenders, to be fair, don't like it. You know, and that's where I think Bowen comes into his own. But I think someone like Ferguson being up front, they're going to fancy that battle on the weekend if he starts. Huh?
Who's your left midfield, Adam?
Left midfield. We haven't got one.
But who's your left forward?
No, left forward. If I had to pick a front three, I'd say Mohamed Kudus on the left, Bowen on the right, and then Ferguson up top. That would be my front three.
Yeah, that's a really good forward line. But I do think that Arsenal...
But potentially, I think it could even go down to Ferguson's being on the bench again. I think Soler could probably play left wing, Kudus right, and Bowen up top. I think it could see that as well. I think we've got a couple of options there. Then you've got Guilherme that could come off the bench, who probably will play the last 5 minutes.
I think we're describing two things that are really similar right now. There's goals in both teams' forward lines, but there's only one player from each of those teams really who's played a bit of football lately. When you look at Bowen, who's been playing, he's not too long back from a toe injury, I know, but he's like the talisman. And then at Arsenal, you've got Trossard. Other than that, I know that Muneri has played this season, but it's not like he's been a regular starter. It's more since the Saka injury and then the Martinelli injury and now Havertz that you're looking at Muneri as a guaranteed starter. So I think that it's one of those games where you're looking and think anything could happen. Because there's been so little football
That's
played.
what my gut instinct was. That's what my gut instinct was. I think it's a good time to play Arsenal, despite you being a team in form, and you haven't lost a game in 19, is it, this season?
In the Premier League.
Yeah, so why not West Ham this weekend? That's just my feeling. Why not? Just a question. But again, I'll go as much as I'd love it to be 1-1. Still think it'll be 3-0 to your mob, but that's just how it could go either way with West Ham at the minute.
I reckon it could be like 2-1. I do think Arsenal. It depends on what Bowen does, because I could see Bowen putting a cross in and Solskjaer scoring, which would absolutely drive me crazy. But other than that, I could see it being like a 2-3-0 Arsenal win.
I would hate it. It'll piss me right off if we lost 1-0 narrowly, because it'll be almost like you're there for the taking in a sense. That's what it'll come across like. But I hope you don't beat us 1-0.
Same for Leicester as well, I think. So,
yeah.
But I'm going to let you guys finish up there, and I'm going to shoot, and I will see you guys in a couple of days.
See you, mate.
All right, buddy. Take care, dude. Take care.
Right.
Yeah. So,
are you going to try and watch the game?
I'm going to try, but I'm around my mum's at the weekend, and my mum will hate me for this. But every time I watch West Ham, around my mum's or my mum's in my company, we lose. So I'm trying to.
You should definitely watch it.
Hoping. Yeah. Everyone's like, Ed, why don't you watch that game? It'll be great. It'll be absolutely great. What do you think? And who do you think's got a better front three? At this weekend, this weekend.
Well, to be fair, I think it's pretty even. I mean, as Rob said, it's Trossard and Bowen, in it. Really, let's be honest, they're the only ones that. But then, if you're looking at that, then I would take Trossard over Bowen.
Yeah,
obviously Rob wouldn't, but I still think Trossard does more for Arsenal. Oh, I don't know. That's a big statement, actually, isn't it? More than Arsenal than Bowen does for. I'd take Trossard. I must admit, I'd take
Jeff
Trossard
Trossard as well.
over Bowen. Yeah, even though I would. I think he deserves it. I think he's done enough for Arsenal this season, and the end of last season to warrant to say that I would trust him this weekend to go and assist or score. Would you say the same for Bowen?
I think Bowen's got it in his locker, isn't he?
He's definitely got it in his locker. Yeah, I mean, you don't become a talisman for your team without having a bit, and playing the Premier League without having a bit about you. But
yeah, I think that's how. Go on, mate. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I think Trossard will do something for us this weekend, score or assist, or both.
Yeah, no, that's a fair shout. Okay, well, in terms of quiz, Daddyators.
No, we can't do it.
No, we can. I'm going to test you on your own with a picture round. Oh no, hold on. You have a challenger.
Who's the challenger?
Oh, we'll find out in a minute.
Can I just say I'm so crap? I'm so crap at quizzes.
You're so crap. Well, no, you're not that bad. Not against your brother anyway.
I think I've won one.
So we have Tabs. Tabs is going to challenge you for Daddyators.
Oh, here we go.
How are you doing? I don't need any. What was that? That dog cartoon stuff that you were talking about last week? No.
Yeah, Cal, explain that because I think everyone needs to.
Paw Patrol. That's it. Paw Patrol.
No, it's not Paw Patrol. It's Bluey.
Bluey. I thought Bluey was a character in Paw Patrol.
No. That's two different programs, mate. You're going to struggle with this. This week it's Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig. I might know a bit more about Peppa Pig than Bluey. So my kids are 16 and 18. It's a long time since I've had to sit down and watch.
Oh no, I don't even know if that was even out. I don't even know if Bluey is out when they were kids.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Okay, so
good, mate. You all right?
Bad, mate. That's bad.
Yeah.
Thanks
I'm
for
trying to edit Adam and his diatribe that he came out with this afternoon about West Ham and being a good team and going to smash Arsenal. So I'm just going to edit that out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I said we're going to win like 6-0. Let's get our own back. Declan Rice scores an own goal of hat-trick own goals. That was what I said. Right, so
I'd be worried if that was the case.
So Tabs, you have challenged Callum this week for Daddyators. Yeah, Daddyators. So hold on a minute, hold your horses, because we have got.
Oh, here we go.
Daddyators. Ready? And welcome to the hottest quiz show on YouTube streaming ever. This is what it's called, Daddyators. Daddyators, are you ready?
Ready.
Yeah, mate, buzzing. I'm so ready. It's ridiculous. Here we go.
So this
week, I should have got my wolf wig.
I know, yeah.
Have you got a wolf wig?
when I was about 18 years of age, yes.
So this week's quiz is
flags.
World flags.
Oh, easy.
So
easy. Tabs throwing it in there quick. Oh god, here we go. Why is it easy?
Oh, it's one of my favourite topics. World flags.
Oh, you're joking.
Oh, right. Really? Okay. So
it's a stitch up. You've had a conversation today, haven't you? You've gave me the old one.
I need to get my glasses for this.
Yeah, I was going to say I could just about make that up for these. The answer at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, the choices are at the bottom, but you need to link the word, obviously the name of the country, to the flag. So
okay.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Right, so Daddyators, are you ready?
What have I got? Shout them out or what?
What do you want to know?
So what we'll do is Well, I'll say, like say top left, for instance, and then you have to shout your buzzer, and whoever gets in first gets to answer it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can't even see the names at the bottom. All tight. Can I zoom in?
You don't need the names at the bottom. It's fine. I'll tell you all now if you want.
I bet you can as well. I think I know most of them. It's just
yeah. Go on then.
Okay.
Oh God, here we go.
Daddyators, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Top left.
Spain.
Callum on that one. Got it first.
Yes.
1-0 to Callum.
I've got a delayed reaction on this.
I love it.
Go on.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Third row, middle.
Japan.
Oh, that was Callum again. Sorry, Tabs.
No,
I'm not stitching
hang
up
on.
here, I promise.
You're hearing me. You're
I
hearing me
really
delayed.
ain't.
You're hearing
I
me
really
delayed
ain't.
because both times I've got ahead of Callum. Unless this is a fix.
I'm getting them in early.
I definitely said that early.
Right, okay, ready?
It's a fix.
Second row, left.
South Africa. Oh no.
No, left. He said
Poland.
left. Poland.
Tabs has got that one because Callum got it wrong. 2-1.
I'm going. You should.
Top row. Top row. Right.
Australia.
Ooh, it's Tabs on that one.
Are you mad?
Definitely Tabs on
mate,
that
we've
one.
got to listen to it back, mate.
I'm gonna put my hand up every time just so you can see it. There's Australia. Okay. Go on.
I can see you.
I know you can't hear me though. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that? Fourth row, left.
Egypt.
Egypt.
That was definitely Tabs. That was not even a debate on that one.
I could get my words out.
Right, fourth row, middle.
Pakistan.
Tabs again. You ready? Third row, left.
China.
Oh, China.
Tabs again. He's a whitewash, Callum. He's whitewashing you.
How can it be a whitewash? I got the first 3 right, you melt.
Second row, middle.
Ecuador.
Yeah, Ecuador.
Tabs again. Second row, right.
South Africa.
I'm giving up,
Yeah,
mate,
he's
because
right.
I can't. My eyes trying to work out where you are. It's bad enough as it is.
Third row, right.
India.
Callum. Fourth row, right.
Canada.
Callum again.
There's nonsense. There's a delay on this one.
And
First on everyone.
Iceland.
That's it. There you go. And that is the final result. So Tabs wins with 7 and Callum with 5.
I'm surprised it was that close.
9, 12. I'm not having that. I want to watch this back. I'm definitely ahead of some of them.
There must be some time difference between West London and north of London. There's a delay.
No. The only thing is, Tabs, you know why you've stitched yourself up?
Why?
Because you've got to come on next week and defend your crown.
And defend my honour.
Defend the crown.
The thing is, what you don't realise, Adam's actually said to me, throw it. So then Tab's got to come on next week.
That's it. Tabs has got to come on every week now. He's rolled himself in it.
That's it. He's fully engaged now. Do you know what's even nicer? Hopefully next week there'll be 3 Gooners against one West Ham fan. We can just, with tomorrow's result, we can just absolutely rip Adam.
Yeah. But I'd suggest that's like a normal ratio of fans around the world, 3-1, if not greater. I'd suggest.
Yeah. Actually, you're pretty bang on. Yeah.
I was going to ask today, what's the there was stuff you were saying. Karen Brady was asking about the stadium, or saying stuff about the stadium. What was the? I didn't have it. My Zoom coinage ran out, so I didn't get a chance to ask it.
That's right. Yeah. So basically, yesterday it was announced by Sky that Jack Sullivan is doing a podcast called The Broad Room. Mm-hmm. And he's doing it with Mark McAdam. And Mark McAdam is actually a fantastic journalist and a really, really good Sky Sports News reporter. And that covers a lot of the South Coast in terms of transfer activity and games and stuff. But they had an exclusive where they had Karen Brady go on and talk about her life as a ball, one of the longest serving chief execs and most powerful women in football, which she's worked hard for that. Can't take that away from her at all. But there's been a lot of negative response when they talk about the London Stadium being the right move for the West Ham, saying that it's a world-class facility with world-class viewing platforms for football, and but it's not really gone down well with the West Ham fans, if I'm completely honest, because it just all looks like a sugar-coated interview. When I think the fans that go week in, week out, I mean, I went at the weekend, but and I saw it once, and I was like, oh, this is not good. I mean, I haven't been on a 3:00 kickoff over at London Stadium for quite a while. And to see the difference then to now and not change has been quite quite an insight. And the fans, I think, are just depressed with it now that they've run out of options. They go because they're loyal, but then the tickets are going up, and then the views ain't changing. Everything's going up, like price of beer, price of food, football kits, programs, popcorn. Everything's going up.
Do you not think it's just because? Do you not think it's just because the fans have written this season off, knowing that you're not going to win anything?
No, I think you're not going to. No, I think this has always been. I think the diehard West Ham fans have always raised the issues with it, and it's not really gone. Sorry, I just need to take this ticker thing off because it's Dad rant alert. There you go. That's better because I can't see my face. So basically, I think it's a lot of the West Ham fans are now just tired of accepting it, and I think there's starting to be some movements of change that they want enforced in the club at match day experience. I said the results are relevant. It's just the getting to games. There was a couple of train strikes on Saturday, which made it harder for West Ham fans who have actually emigrated out of East London because of the infrastructure developments that are occurring, i.e. bowling ground with all the flats going in replace of it. So a lot of the people that grew up around that area end up branching out, going to Kent, Essex, and there's a song in the Only Fools and Horses musical that Grandad sings about where have all the Cockneys gone. And to me, that's almost like West Ham. It's like some went to Billericay, some went to Southend, some it's just the club's just gone wide. So obviously we're taking a longer journey to get into Stratford anyway, with world-class train links, but all the trains are cancelled. So how are you going to get to games? So
the thing is, Arsenal went through this when we first got into. Do you know what I mean? And now look at our fan base. It's probably the strongest fan base and atmosphere that. Well, I've definitely ever seen that at Arsenal. I'll try to speak to my old man about this, and I suppose he's got sort of different memories, especially with the 70s and the 80s. And he said that the fans they did sing and they were loud. But I know obviously my only memory of Highbury was always being called Highbury Library. But every time I went to Highbury, they especially in the North Bank. And that's where Dad sat. It was loud and it was rowdy and stuff. But we got coated with that name or that name. But then look at us now. It's almost like a foreign atmosphere now. Almost like a Spanish sort of atmosphere. With the ultras behind. Up the clock end and the singing and the scarves and I find it hard to believe that West Ham, who have arguably got the best history of fan base to then say that you feel like that's dying. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just think you're maybe.
Again, I think success on the pitch helps, because during the latter Wenger years, the banter era and Emery and stuff, you know, it got a bit toxic. I don't think your stadium helps. The London Stadium. I've only been there for athletics, and that says it all. So you know, it's an athletic stadium, not a football stadium, and you got it on the cheap, and that's how your owners operate and things like that. So you haven't made it your own. You know, what's happened at the Emirates since we moved in, with the facade and the outside and everyone that involved. So the latest one, the fan involvement in that, they've tried to improve the match day experience. Some of it more cringe than others, but then it's tailoring for a younger audience and not 52-year-olds like myself, sort of thing. So I don't think you're able to personalize the experience yet or at all at the because you're just so far away, and even the away fan experience is from what I'm saying, it's crap. They've got this like massive trampoline in between the fans, and so you can't even get the away fans generating a united atmosphere that you can then bounce off, sort of thing. So it's
there's a massive wall separating the away fans to the home fans, because that was a reactionary measure from the LLDC because of fan disruption from European fans. So basically, we had a game against Rapid Vienna in the Europa League, and they were throwing. You get like in the offices, you get the big drums of water.
Oh right! Oh my god!
For some reason, one of them drums flew over into the stand, and they were like, "Oh, we'll put a wall up for that now." So basically, you've killed the sort of banter between the home and away fans, and it's just like, "Oh, we'll just block that out." Like that don't matter. Well, it clearly does, because it's part and parcel of the game. Like yes, there's no crowd trouble over there, but there ain't gonna be if there's no enticement of that, or tribal warfare, like good friendly tribal warfare. You're never going to get that. You're never going to get that, and you want that sort of going 1-0 up and then go 2-0, 2-1 down, and then you end up winning 3-2, and you want that back and forwards bartering, don't you? And like I say, it's all lost. It's all been lost. Like it will never have the same. I think fans will never connect to it the way that we did with Boleyn. No. It is a step up in terms of the location of it, but it's like, through my profession and being an architect and being a stadium fan, design is so important, because it's about even like Wembley. When they designed Wembley, all the boxes, all the facades were all flush, and when they done a sound test, the sound just echoed all the way through. So having that slight 1 degree pitch in the boxes, every glass panel it's not flat. It's almost like rigid like that. Yeah. So then it deflects the sound. So then that made it a more tolerable event space. I mean, it's just little things like that. I think London Stadium has the potential to be modified and altered to be a world-class footballing stadium. But it's going to cost money. A lot of fans are saying it can't be done. You can't dig down in the foundations. You can't build on top of the roof because we've already spent £15 million. Like, I'm sorry, £15 million for a roof in comparison to Spurs spending £1 billion on their stadium is pittance. Spurs spent that.
But I mean, even just getting fans closer to the pitch. They were talking about having like the do they have the removable seats and stuff like that, or they didn't do?
Yeah, you could have another 20,000 or something, can it?
You just get them.
You could have more, 10,000, is it? With them removable seats, you could have more.
No. So the stadium the stadium at the moment has, I think it's almost like 70,000 seats, but we've only.
But it could go up to 100, couldn't it?
No. I think it was 80 at the Olympics, and then it got reduced down. But there's always been around 70,000 seats you could get in that stadium. But a lot of it's down to licensing, down to police. So when we first moved into the London Stadium, it was 57,000. Then we had to apply for a license to go up to 16. Now we're at 62.5, and now they're talking about going up to 66. But we've not made any expansion of that. They're just seats that are just covered with netting at the back.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, right. I mean, it's the same at the.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
No. I was going to say it's the same at the Emirates. Even if we did want to expand, however, the surrounding infrastructure needs to be improved in order to. Even if you're just having 10,000 extra fans, a lot of the stuff is like they were. when they moved there, said, right, your limit is 60,000, and that's that, and that's what everyone agreed to, because that's what the infrastructure can take. So it's not always just about the stadium itself; it's about the surrounding infrastructure. It's a bit like, you know, Holloway Road, one of the closest stadium stations to the Emirates, is shut 2 hours before kickoff because it can't deal with the capacity,
the infrastructure.
Exactly.
The infrastructure in Stratford is perfect. It's just the way the
500 lines going through there.
Yeah, the thing is, it's the lead up to, you know, we've got that Wembley walk going past the aquatic centre up to the main thing, but you get up to that point and then you've got to go through a security check which takes 20 minutes to get through. Then that kind of kills the atmosphere anyway. Then you go through that, then you've got to go through your ticketing, then you've got to walk to your seat and stuff. So there's a lot of stages there that kind of kill the match day experience and stuff. Whereas with bowling, you used to walk up the street, go through the turnstiles, you was in. You know, it was that easy, as was Highbury. But in terms of like converting it, it is possible. It's just, you just got to put the dough up for it. And we've got an investor there in Daniel Kwiecinski that's worth 15 billion quid. You know, and if he pumps a bit more money in the ownership of the state in the club, you know, there's a deal there to be had. Go, look, we can convert this stadium, but that ain't going to happen until because what has happened recently, and I think it's from the 1st of March, is that the LLDC, the London Legacy Development Company, have relinquished the London Stadium parameter and boundary and lease of that, and handed that over to Greater London Authority for £1. So now they're the ones that are in control of that stadium, which means that West Ham now can renegotiate a longer term lease and take on more responsibility and efforts and financial investment into that hub to get a bit more of a bit more control, equivalent of Manchester City having the City of Manchester Stadium, or the Etihad now. They've expanded, they got it in, they put a new roof on. Now they've expanded. Now they're putting this fantastic fan zone and outside concert arena on the back of it. So that's going to be like a mega structure, multi-purpose stadium. London Stadium can be that. It's got the capacity to do that. It's just the people in charge at the minute have been quite stubborn and wanted to keep Major League Baseball there two times a year. You know, there was an interesting YouTube video of a guy who does like tours in like museums and stadiums, and he'd done the London Stadium tour, and the Major League Baseball changing rooms still exist at that stadium. They were supposed to be temporary. Now they're there permanently now, and that facility is better equipped than what West Ham is in that stadium. Wow. It's just sad. We don't have any ownership or anything. Like I said, about blue tack on walls for posters.
Yeah, no, I heard that. But you can't. Yeah, you can't make it your own.
Taking sides, holding flags up. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't. That's you need to make it your own. Make it feel part of it. You need to get the fans involved in making it your own. But if the owners aren't prepared to do that, then they're going to have this perpetual.
And that's the problem. And that's why I think in hearts of hearts, I think. I hope I'm right with this. I hope they're doing it for a reason. Like the way they're treating us at the minute. Like if we suffer it for another 18 months and come the summer of 2026, a lot of things could open up. So
unless you're in danger of going down, I think their owners potentially happy with just being a middling Premier League club who maybe get a cup run, maybe this, maybe that. You know, just as long as you're not in threat of relegation.
I just don't think they've got the dough. I just don't think they've got the dough to do what we want. So that's why I think there could be a potential takeover in next summer. Yeah. Maybe you've got the Qataris that are interested in Tottenham at the minute, but West Ham and PSG have a pretty good relationship off the pitch. So there could be that sort of coming into it. And then if the luxuries that they've got, they want a vanity project, then the London Stadium is that. It's the jewel of London at the minute in terms of athletics and, you know, the amount of sporting moments that have happened in that area at recent times. It you know, there's a lot there that could be taken on board. But yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, I could talk about London Stadium for ages and West Ham.
I could in general,
but as the title says,
it's an important part.
Bollocks to Brady.
Yeah, bollocks to Brady indeed. But no, it's an important part of the match day experience, and going to games now, it's so expensive and stuff that you want a bit more than just, and you want to be treated respectfully and want a bit more than just going to see the game. I think, I don't know. So it's a toughie because it's where the atmosphere starts. I mean, it's two things. One, you need it from the pitch. You need the players to drive the atmosphere, but then you also need the environment to be, conducive as well. Especially modern day audiences and stuff like that. So
yeah. Where's Callum gone? Maybe his battery's died.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, look, I'm gonna have to drop.
No worries, mate. Thank you for coming on in such short notice and absolutely smashing Callum to bits in the world flags.
I won that one 12-0. I'm positive of that one.
We'll see about that. But obviously, Daddyators happens every week. It's always between me, Rob, and Callum. And I say you can be a quizmaster one day if you want, Tabs. If you want to throw it.
Yeah. If you need any help, just let me know. Okay. All right.
No worries, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, no worries, mate. No problem. Cheers.
See that one, dude. And that's the end of this week's Dad's Our Job podcast, episode 22. Thank you for everyone to joining and listening. I know people are just getting onto the chat now after watching other streams and stuff. I'd love to stay on, but I can't. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on. We'll be back next week, and hopefully get a few more viewers, a few more listeners. And I say, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on X. All the taglines are below. That'll be ticker taped all the way through this stream. Yeah, I say thank you for joining. And sorry, Dad. Boo. Yeah, thanks. And thank you, Kerry, for coming on. You're a moderator. You didn't even know that, did you? So final words. I think West Ham, Arsenal at the weekend, Dodge Pod Derby. It might be a quiet one for me next week. So thanks again. See you soon. Ta-da.